Well, what is up there, guys? This is Cobb, and this video right here is going to be a series rundown, I suppose you could say, of what would have otherwise been like 25 episodes of another attempt at our Stellaris challenge to defeat the game on the hardest difficulties imaginable. So the playthrough that you are seeing on screen right now is, of course, from the Quake of Kuhja. And the reason that I'm cutting this out is because, well, it just didn't go so well. The only issue is that it was a very slow death by attrition. And I didn't want to, I didn't want to put you guys in a position where you watch 25 episodes of something and, we don't die in some kind of great final hold or some shit like that, but we just sort of die with a whimper. With a very slow whimper with like 2 or 3 unsuccessful wars that go by and we slowly lose more and more ground. I stuck it out for as long as I could. And then eventually it was just like, yeah, we are so fucking far behind at this point that there's really no joy from my attempt at this challenge while playing as the Quake of Kuhja. So I just didn't want to make you guys sit through that. The TLDR of what happened is that we started off in a very favourable galactic location. We had a lot of room to expand out into, and that's great. We expanded as quickly as we could, which is difficult because the Quake of Kuhja, the faction that I was playing as, they're not xenophobic by any stretch, they're not authoritarian by any stretch. Therefore, our influence income was very low. They're actually just a very militaristic faction. And that's, what I designed them to be. So that means that expansion was actually quite slow. But we expanded pretty well, all things considered. So we did get an amazing start. The problem started when we were positioned right next to a crazy devouring hive, or devouring swarm, rather, of a hive mind. So they were extremely militarist. Also to our Galactic South was another militarist faction. So that's great, just militarists everywhere wanting to fucking kill us, which would be fine in a normal playthrough, but with these kinds of settings, like, man, one bad starting neighbor is bad enough, but when you're kind of sandwiched between 2 of them, it was a huge uphill battle from the moment I figured out who my fucking neighbors were. So we ended up falling behind on every front, essentially, because we were forced into fighting wars that we just really couldn't win against the power level of the AI. One of the wars I managed to kind of hold my ground and steal one system from our adversaries, and that was it. Other than that, it was just a complete stalemate, a complete waste of resources because they had more resource farm than me. So even though I gained a tiny bit of ground from the first war, it was still very much just a state of stagnation. In terms of, how we were developing. I had to put a ton of resources into just not losing ground. I could have just been pouring all of those resources into development and economy, and actually setting up for things like the mid-game, which is something we only just about reached before I went ahead and tapped out. So, yeah. I just want to make this quick video here before we move on to the next faction, which is actually attempt number 4. So this is just going to be like a 1-episode rundown of what happened with the Quake of Kuhja. Summarizing, series 3 of this challenge. The next series, The Quiet of Felmuri, I've already recorded a whole bunch of episodes with these guys, and I dare say, so far, it's going pretty well. At the time that I'm recording this, we're very much staring down the barrel of a gun. Things could turn bad pretty quickly, but I assure you, I'll be uploading that full playthrough, whatever happens. Because either which way, it's gonna be pretty juicy. So yeah, stick around for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope that y'all appreciate just this one video going up rather than me wasting all of your times with, 25 episodes of mediocre Stellaris gameplay and me learning a lot of harsh lessons and, yeah, just sucking in general. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, have an awesome day.